Of our tornado or rotations that we have. Again, we have one which looks like it's just crossed 259 north of Hochatown. Could be moving up towards the Smithville area. You can see this tornado warning that is in effect until 5 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the tornado warning we've been tracking now for quite some time as it moved out into Red River County, has moved across Red River County, is now quite a bit weaker here as it is crossed 259 just south of the Ray 4 Thunder Truck. Weather Service has issued yet another tornado warning for that rotation, which again does include the Redland. This is Oklahoma Highway, I believe, 3, Eagletown. That could you could eventually see this come into play, and then the northwest corner of Sevier County, probably northwest of DeQueen is where that would track. If you're watching in DeQueen and Gillum, keep a close eye on this because obviously these things can turn a little bit to the right sometimes because of that rotation. And since we're on this storm right now, let's give you the latest view from the Ray 4 Thunder Truck, which is now stationed very close to that. And you can see the rain obviously has arrived there. And I'll step out of the picture so you can see what's happening there live. And just an observation, the lightning, obviously, that you get with these thunderstorms. And just looking at the trees, doesn't look like a whole lot of movement from those trees. A little bit breezy right now. Starting to see a little bit of some gustiness, and you can see the clouds there. I believe those are clouds, unless they're raindrops. Could be raindrops actually, but just a live view of the circulation, which is now passing to the south and east of the location of the Ray 4 Thunder Truck right now, which is south of Idabel, just a few miles south of Idabel on U.S. Highway 259. So Megan's been out here recently taking a few pictures, and she'll obviously. She can see things better with the normal eyes than the camera can sometimes see. So she'll provide us with any observations I'm sure that she may have witnessed there. And you can kind of see that taller tree on the left kind of showing a little bit more movement as the rain has also picked up with that particular cell. So I'm going to keep it here for a second, and as that cell moves through that part of the area, again, we have the tornado warning now in effect for the northern sections of McCurtain County. That cell looks like it's moving towards the Smithville, Oklahoma area. We have this cell, which a new tornado warning has just been issued for the southeastern sections and eastern sections of McCurtain County. It looks like that this cell could head up towards Eagletown and maybe eventually move into the far northwestern corner of Sevier County. If you live close to west of Gillum, close to west of DeQueen, you could be in the path of this. One observation does look like, now it is moving farther away from the radar, so that could be one explanation of that. But and Josh mentioned the air up here in this part of the Arklatex a little bit cooler, so might be a reason why the circulation, you can see a little bit of a increase in the wind there here just in the last 30 seconds or so with those trees. As you can see the traffic also there on 259 headed towards the Idabel area. Just downstream we do have the storm that is now moving into the southeastern sections of Red River County here. South of this storm, that is going to move towards the Avery area and eventually perhaps a little bit to the west and north of DeKalb. That is a storm that's obviously the strongest circulation that we have on the radar right now, and we just had confirmation of that also touching down near Talco with some debris, according to some eyes that have seen that debris. And we have a final circulation that is not as intense further to the south that looks like it could move up towards Pittsburgh and eventually move up towards the Omaha middle part of Morris County. So those are the three areas of concern. You can see it's gotten rather dark there as we have probably some of the heaviest rain associated with this thunderstorm, and it looks like Megan might be moving here pretty shortly. So we'll stay with her and see which direction she's going to be going. Looks like they're turning around, and maybe we'll see which way they go. They may just go south and maybe turning around. Oh, they probably just turned the camera. That's what it is. All right, so you can see the live view. This is looking back towards, I'm trying to see if that's clouds or trees behind the first row of trees. So that was the first a view from the Ray 4 Thunder truck as Megan once again on the move, and we'll keep in tabs with her and see if she sees anything as far as damage as a result of those storms. And you can see that storm right now, the heavy rain, that circulation has just moved through and is now tracking up towards Oklahoma Highway 3. And again, as I mentioned just a second ago, Eagletown is in the path of this now possible tornado. It hasn't been confirmed here recently of anything on the ground, so that is the latest from that. Let me move the radar back down to the south. The strongest circulation that we have, and a confirmed tornado has just moved through the Box Elder area. It is moving up towards Avery. You can see DeKalb here. It looks like the brunt of that circulation probably will pass maybe a little bit to the north of DeKalb. If you live in the Lanesport, Foreman, excuse me, perhaps Winthrop as well. Those are areas here in the western sections of Little River County that could be in the path of this right now confirmed tornado. So we'll see if it maintains the strength as it moves further to the north and east. As we are looking at this storm, we have a confirmation of a touchdown from this. See if I can get the radar to pop on here, and obviously the hand tracker is mad at me again. So I'm going to try to get this to pop on the menu. Boy, let me hold still. Maybe that'll work. Try to get the menu to pop on. Let's go to now, see if that worked. Anyway, so I was going to try to look at if we had any debris from this, but you can see the location of the Ray 4 Thunder truck right now. They are on the move. We'll keep tabs on where they're going to be going here. They may be in search of some damage as they move south of 259, and you can see the broad circulation that we have right now here in the far southeastern sections of Red River County, as our tornado is right now approaching the Avery, Texas area. And further to the south, a pretty good gap here between rotating storms. If you're watching in Mount Pleasant, right now it looks pretty good for you. We do have this cell here that is tracking towards the northeast, and it probably will stay to your south. We'll have to keep an eye on anything that's further to the southwest, but it does look like this could move up towards the Pittsburgh area, eventually Omaha. Perhaps Dangerfield could come into play here in Morris County. So that is another very strong circulation indicated there on the radar, which is northeast of Tyler, just now crossing U.S. Highway 80, a little bit to the east of Mineola, Texas. So that is.
And I'm not seeing any debris with that storm at the moment that's moving towards Avery. I know you were trying to look at that. I've been keeping an eye on that one. I haven't seen any debris for the last few scans. At no point did I see debris, but again, we've had reports of debris falling from the sky with that storm. We're a ways from the radar, so it's possible it's just not seeing it with that particular storm. But we mentioned we had seen some debris with the storm in Red River County. Could have been just because that was a stronger storm.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So not seeing anything, but I am keeping an eye on it.
Thanks, Josh. And you can see that at this point, when Josh mentioned the stronger storm, as we saw debris very close to Clarksville, that from the Shreveport radar was 9,000 feet. Now, there may have, when it passed through Talco, it may have been a debris, but this may not have been as strong, so the tornado didn't throw it up as high and the radar didn't see it. That's the point we're making with that. So you can see right now we do have on the radar right now, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 tornado warnings that are currently in place across the Arklatex. So I mentioned this one here recently. Let's give you another look at the storm that's go from north to south once again. It looks like what's left of our circulation here is now getting ready to move close to the Smithville, Oklahoma area. So I'm going to switch over to the Fort Smith radar, since it is obviously much closer to this radar site. If I can get the hand tracker to work for me. It's still somewhat finicky. But nonetheless, I'm I'm pushing too many buttons, I think is what it is. I'll give up on that. So let's go back to the Shreveport radar and go back to the traditional radar scan. So this is the storm which is rotating right now. Looks like it's moving up towards the Smithville area. You can see another that storm that is spinning here just to the south and especially east of Idabel. And you can see the circulation associated with that as it is right now. It looks like it's going to cross Oklahoma 3 very close to Redland. So this possible tornado will come very close to Redland and again very close to the Eagletown area. And then further downstream we'll see it come very close to Broken Bow Lake, or I should say DeQueen Lake there in Sevier County. And we could see it move close to Gillum, and even in DeQueen you'll have to keep an eye on it as it moves closer to your area. So again, does look like Megan is making her way south there on 259, and we'll keep tabs on what she's seen there as she does continue to move.
And they looked around Idabel. They said they did not see any damage, so that's good news.
That's good news. So that's more confirmation. And again, this signature here with this storm doesn't look as impressive as it once did. It could be a function of the distance from the radar, but nonetheless, there's still some rotation here indicated with this storm that is a little bit east of Idabel, near Redland, headed towards Eagletown, DeQueen Lake, and perhaps Gillum eventually. And just kind of give you a sense on the timing of that moving forward. So we're looking at it in this general direction, moving in this general direction, close to Eagletown here, in this general area about 450. Looks like in this area near DeQueen Lake about 505, and if it were to maintain that strength, 515. If it were to impact to make that turn a little bit to the right, 505, I'm not saying it's going to, but DeQueen, that's about the time that this could impact you in that part of the area. And then you can see the strongest rotation that we have, most impressive. Notice the bright reds away, greens towards, strong rotation here. Very close to Avery, and that you can see a new tornado warning has just been issued by the National Weather Service as this will impact the Avery area. In DeKalb, your phones probably have gone off. You'll have to keep an eye on it. Again, you can see the circulation here. It could come, at least pieces of it could come pretty close to you. So good idea to go ahead and get in your place of safety. You can see I'm going to move this down further so I can do another arrival time here of these various this particular storm at various locations. So it's close to Avery, passes close to DeKalb, maybe a little bit north at about 450, close to Lanesport, somewhere in this area at about 507, gets close to Foreman at about 517, 515 to 520. Then we could see it come pretty close to the Winthrop, Aleen areas. And across that state highway there in Little River County at about 530. And I believe, trying to think of Ben Lomond here could come into play. That is about 545. Does look like, based on what's on the radar now, that this will stay north of Ashdown. But keep in mind, these things do sometimes make a little bit of a turn. So if it were to turn, again, you're probably looking at almost an hour before that would, if it were to, it would impact the Ashdown area. So you folks in Ashdown need to keep an eye on this. But
we have a lot of eyes on that storm now. The volunteer fire there saying that they observed some rotation with that when it was moving through Avery, but nothing on the ground. So, but it just based on, I've been watching that one. It looks like it is strengthening. So if it is going to put down a tornado again, it's probably going to occur soon. And then the storm that's south of that now has a confirmed tornado warning as well. So we do have a new warning that has been issued for portions of Upshur County, Camp County in Texas. There was a debris signature that was located on that storm just outside of our viewing area near Hawkins, Texas, but we believe there is a tornado on the ground with that. That's going to be headed up into Upshur County near the community of Rosewood, so keeping an eye on that when you've got a few minutes before that storm moves in. But believe we do have a confirmed tornado, some debris observed with that, and you can see Todd pointing out the amount of shear with that. That's likely where that tornado is currently located.
Yeah, so again, this kind of shows us where we are looking at the shear, and you can kind of think of that as, in a sense, rotation. So this is the area, at the very least, we're having some wind issues. Josh mentioned the Rosewood area. Let me move this down so I can basically go back to the velocity scan of the radar, and you can see that rotation, which is approaching Rosewood. I'm going to move this once again to make some of the communities there that I pointed out earlier in Morris County come into the picture here. So it looks like very close to Rosewood here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, and I'll say, just looking at the debris signature, Shady Grove, community of Shady Grove there, eventually Rosewood. So you've got a number of streets there. It's Tangerine Road, Nutmeg Road, and Mimosa Road, all going to be in the location of that tornado that is on the ground right now and producing damage. It is going to be headed towards Rosewood.
So you can see some of the larger communities here in southern Morris County, Dangerfield, and perhaps even Lone Star. That's about the time that it would arrive. About 50 minutes from now, right around 5:30 is when that could arrive in your area. Josh mentioned the debris signature, so I'm going to make another attempt to see if I can get that product to pop on here for me. And you can see right here is that debris. And so what this represents is that the radar knows what weather stuff looks like, rain, hail, and so when you get something that's odd shaped, it knows that and provides us with a little bit of a signature, and that is a debris signature that right now is popped up here just outside of our viewing area, but this is, you can clearly see, moving up towards the Rosewood area. So we do have a confirmed tornado on the ground moving through towards the Rosewood area. That will pass west of Gilmer and eventually move into the northern sections of Upshur County. Don't see any other communities here in the northern sections of Upshur County that would be impacted by that. But again, from there, it will move up into the eastern sections. Everyone in Pittsburgh needs to keep a close eye on that. But that is another location. Again, this is the debris signature detected on the radar right now. And I'll pause this and try to switch back between two, and you can see how that matches up with the velocity scan and the rotation. So we have let me circle that so that you can keep tabs on exactly what we're talking about here. So this is where we're looking at debris in this area, and you'll see how that matches up with basically with the rotation aspect of this. So grab up the velocity and you'll probably see that match up pretty well. So you can see the reds away, greens towards. So where I pointed out the debris, that's a very strong rotation, and we do have a tornado on the ground which is moving towards the Rosewood, Texas area right now here in the next several minutes. So this is obviously the strongest rotation that we have on the radar right now. Let's go back to the north as we await this to move into our viewing area, especially Camp County and Morris County. That's a little bit deeper into our area. We'll move back to the north and give you an update on the storm that is now moving into Bowie County. You can see this one. We do have a confirmation from this one as well. Recently did move through Avery, but as Josh mentioned, there are some eyes on that that did not see anything as far as a touchdown in Avery as it moved through at least close to Avery. You can see the orange here. That is a sign that the radar picking up the spin. So if you're watching in DeKalb, it does look like this is going to pass to your north into the northwestern corner of Bowie County. So if you're watching in DeKalb, maybe the phone has gone off. Again, it does look like, just based on the motion of this during the past several scans of the radar, that this is going to pass to the north of DeKalb. So you can kind of see that that circulation here does look like it's going to pass to the north of DeKalb. Probably will pass near, south, and east of Tom. And then Foreman needs to keep an eye on this as well. Lanesport, obviously, as well. Winthrop, Aleen, all these communities here are potentially in the path of this possible tornado, which again recently passed very close to Avery. Some eyes there in Avery say that they did not see anything as far as a touchdown, but that's actually good news, but still doesn't necessarily mean that something hasn't formed since then. So you can see this tornado warning here is in effect until 5:30 for this part of the Arklatex, Bowie County, southeastern McCurtain County, parts of Little River County, and of course the southern sections of Sevier County. This, if you're watching in, say, Horatio, DeQueen, this will pass to your south. Locksburg and Ben Lomond. Keep an eye on this. Probably a better chance in Ben Lomond than Locksburg. And if you really want to go out far, you can see eventually Nashville, Mineral Springs, southern sections of Howard County. Keep an eye on this. Now, we're talking a ways away, but this, as of right now, is headed towards you. So just to kind of give you a heads up to keep an eye on these storms as they move further and further towards the north. You can see that circulation we were tracking earlier. Looks like it's passed near or east of Smithville, so no longer concerned about this tornado warning that's over the northeastern sections of McCurtain County. We have this rotation here, which again passed to the south of Idabel. Megan Henry and the Ray 4 Thunder Truck did some observations there around Idabel, didn't find any evidence of damage, and now she's probably going to go somewhere and see if maybe there is something. Notice she's moving south here on 259, so this will push through, so we'll get a sense on what she might be seeing or did see from that as she once this moves through, we'll have any evidence from the Thunder Truck of any touchdowns once she gets there here in the next several minutes. So this will have plenty of time to pass that part of the Arklatex. Then we have a pretty good gap here between rotating storms. Right now, as I mentioned, if you're watching in Mount Pleasant, right now you're looking okay, especially in terms of this confirmed tornado that is now near the Rosewood, Texas area. This by far is the strongest circulation that we have on the radar right now. So let's take a look at the debris signature that it's just to see if we still have that signature there. And you can see there it is right there. So we do still have some debris, more than likely, that matches up well with that velocity signature moving up towards the Rosewood, Texas area. So still signs that we have something on the ground. And that's a pretty good ways away from the radar as well. So likely this is rather, at the very least, maybe an EF1 tornado, a little bit closer than Clarksville. But nonetheless, we do have a tornado on the ground with the debris signature about ready to move into the western edge of Upshur County. All right, so that being said, that's the latest on that. Let's go back to the radar and show you the overall view. We've been obviously concentrating on the thunderstorms that are underway across the region. Now, we do have more storms further to the south. I mentioned earlier, just looking at all the warnings, that we didn't have anything further to the south. There were no signs of any rotation, but we will have to keep an eye on these storms as well, because they're going to take that course that would take them further south through east and northeast Texas. So if you're watching it Longview, watching it maybe Jefferson up here in Cass County, in Texarkana, keep an eye on these cells down here. Those could be the ones, or even new development that occurs ahead of the main line. Those also could be sources of issues as we move deeper into the early evening hours and the latter stages of the evening this evening. So again, just go through what we have right now. We do have several tornado warnings that are currently in place. Let's go from north to south, and again, we're no longer worried about the one over northeastern McCurtain County. Looks like this circulation here is weakened a bit as it is moving just south of Eagletown. So this eventually, you folks in DeQueen, it does look like this may be tracking a little bit further to the east. So DeQueen, again, kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where in here it is presently, but here in the northwestern quarter of DeQueen, of Sevier County, keep an eye on that. It does look like it's weakened, however, so that could be a good sign. Still a significant circulation detected here that is now a few miles northwest of DeKalb. That is going to continue to move northeast and move into the southeastern sections of McCurtain County. Eventually, Lanesport, Foreman, Aleen, all these areas could be impacted. Ben Lomond could be in the path of this. I do think it probably will stay. It has a ways to go. If you were in Wilton, keep an eye on this as well. I do think it'll stay north of Ashdown, but again, sometimes they have been turning a little bit to the right very gradually, so that's something that could continue. And so we got Lanesport, Foreman, close to Foreman, Aleen, Wilton, Ben Lomond, or those areas, and just kind of give you an update on the timing of that. And you can see that it is right now just about ready to cross 259 north of DeKalb. So we'll put it right here. Lanesport 507, close to Foreman in this area, about 517. Close to Alene, maybe a little bit further to the south, 529, and between somewhere here between Ben Lomond and Wilton, about 540 or so is when it could move into that part of southwestern Arkansas. So that is the latest. Again, here's the view from the Ray 4, the location of the Ray 4 Thunder truck. Let me give you another look at the pictures there from the truck. Obviously, north of that circulation, it is pouring down, and there's evidence of that as Megan, now in the Ray 4 Thunder truck, headed south. Probably south on 259. It does curve quite a bit, but nonetheless down towards. She is several miles north of that circulation, which is now north and west of DeKalb. So she is going to give us a view of if we had anything as far as a touchdown as a result of that. She's going to give us a look at that. So you can see the rain may have let up some, but nonetheless, we'll keep tabs on Megan's progress as she moves, and will eventually give us some evidence of what has happened as she's here. Again, we're looking at the possible tornado just several miles to her south. She looks like she's crossing the Red River right now, and so we'll see what she sees as that. Again, she's going to be getting pretty close in the next couple of minutes as to the location of that rotation, which again, we did have eyes that watched it in Avery. They did not see anything as far as a touchdown. So we'll see if there's any evidence from the Thunder truck here fairly shortly as they encounter the location of that rotation. All right, let's zoom the map back out and go back to the south.
That one is extremely concerning.
Yes, it is. It is a big one. You can see the darker blues coming into the picture here. So we have an extremely intense tornado now moving through the Rosewood, Texas area. And you can see the progress of that through Rosewood, Dangerfield, and Lone Star. You need to be watching this very closely. Probably will pass, say, in this general part of Upshur County, north of Gilmer, as it tracks to the northeast, and then up towards somewhere here in the Lone Star to Dangerfield area, and just kind of give you an update on the timing of that. So again, it's near Rosewood right now. It will likely cross. Let me redraw this again. So obviously the hand tracker is mad that it's being worked out so much today. So you can see the location right there. It tracks north of Gilmer, crosses 271 there at 504, and then we're looking at it somewhere in this area, southern Morris County, crossing 259 shortly after 5:30. Then you got Midway here in Cass County, Douglasville. You're going to have to watch it in Linden. If it were to make a little bit of a turn towards the right, it would arrive in the Linden area by about 6:01. But if it doesn't, somewhere between Linden and Douglasville, about 6:10. So that is a good, more than an hour's lead time as to if this were to hold together, when it could arrive in the central sections of Cass County. And again, if you draw this further out, you can see that would project a little bit north of Atlanta, Texarkana, maybe a little bit south of Texarkana, and you can see Fouke. Again, that's a long way out, but still, just kind of give you a sense that right now this cell is moving in that general direction. So a very intense tornado right now, as Josh mentioned, quite concerning. Been pointing out the debris signature that we've been watching, and you can see the progress of that moving forward as I try to get the hand tracker to bring that product up. For some reason, it doesn't like that product today. There it goes. So you can see right here is our debris signature, and it's getting a little bit harder to say, yeah, that's a debris signature, but nonetheless, there is a tornado on the ground right now, more than likely in the Rosewood, Texas area, and that is going to move across the northern sections of Upshur County, the far eastern sections of Camp County, probably east of Pittsburgh, and then up towards Lone Star, Dangerfield, southern sections of Morris County is where that could go here moving forward. All right, let's go back to the traditional radar and kind of give you an overall view as we wait new data to come in. Notice all is dry right now in East Texas and northwest Louisiana, most of southwest Arkansas, as the main focus for these thunderstorms. Mentioned to you yesterday and last night that models had been showing the main impact of these thunderstorms during the afternoon and evenings, basically over the northwestern sections of the area. Here's the very latest run of the HRRR showing you the progress of that moving forward. It does show a possibility maybe a little bit late tonight that we could have a few weak rotations over parts of northwest Louisiana. Now, this is 18 hours worth of data. Notice that it's seeing stuff tomorrow morning as the front itself comes in, so we'll have another round of severe weather tomorrow across the Arklatex. And just to kind of show you what this looks like as far as potential radar in the future, so we have our storms right now. You can see the trend that we'll see here in the next couple of hours. Does look like we could see the focus shift more towards the east as we head into the middle of the evening for everyone, maybe in Marshall, Jefferson, Atlanta, Texarkana, and Hope. And then as we move deeper into the overnight hours, we'll see this line eventually lose its strength, take a bit of a pause, and then the front itself will make you can see the front right about in here. And as we see that push to the east, you can kind of see the area of low pressure, which is going to be moving through the area as that moves by, looking at the threat for more severe weather over especially the eastern two-thirds of the area tomorrow. So that's kind of a longer view of what's ahead of us here for the rest of the evening, nighttime hours tonight, as well as what's on the way for tomorrow. So let's take a look once again at what's happening here with the Ray 4 Thunder Truck, as I'll turn this off and try to get the radar to zoom in here. And you can see Megan is very close to where that circulation is going through right now.
And she had mentioned she had seen a wall cloud on it earlier. She's not seeing it as of now, but she does have eyes on that storm. All
right, so Megan saying did see a wall cloud earlier with that cell, which is now on 259. So we'll obviously right now driving through where we have quite a few trees on the side of the road there, so we'll hopefully get a better picture of that when we have an opening. It looks like there's a opportunity right there, so you can see the view right now from the Ray 4 Thunder Truck as she approaches the where that storm came through. Again, we're looking for any evidence of any damage there on 259 that would provide us with evidence of a touchdown. So obviously you're not seeing much in terms of trees there. I'm going to keep this up since she's getting pretty close to where that rotation across 259. Again, we are looking at this particular rotation here, which is moving eventually up into the southeastern sections of McCurtain County and the western sections of Little River County, looking at possibly Foreman, Aleen, probably Wilton. That part of Little River County is where this could eventually go. Again, the far southeastern sections of McCurtain County. This cell, actually, this is a cell that's further to the south. She was watching earlier a cell that moved very close to Idabel, but there's no evidence that we had anything as far as a touchdown from that. And of course, we do have our confirmed tornado that's on the ground, again, in Rosewood, Texas.